Hey guys, what do we got? 4? Mr. Dunovich, hello. I remember you from earlier. Thank you for returning, sir. I'll go ahead and get it out of the way. You're bald. Thank you, Deganey. I'm sure they'll say it anyway, but thank you for getting us started. All right, hold on a second, guys. What video, Victor? Nick Valente. Oh, what's up, man? Thanks for stopping by, brother. Mr. Dunovich, I got to be first. Yeah, you did. The first Avenger. According to the New Yorker, Donald Trump and his family profited off the presidency by an estimated $4 billion in 2025, mostly through shady crypto deals. Yes, sir, the first Avenger. It's true. It's true, but they're still worried about Hunter's fucking laptop and Burisma and horse shit like that, you know? Don't quit, persevere. I like the name. The one Trump put out about being king of the jungle. Oh, well, what do you think? I mean, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. And then they try to, like, well, all kinds of Democrats were in there portrayed as different animals from the Lion King. There was no fucking apes in the Lion King. There was a baboon named Rafiki or some shit like that. That's it. There was no apes. So how do you figure? Shit, I need to find myself some shady crypto deals. Me too. Not surprised it was racist. It was disgusting. Yeah, and it's exactly something I would expect Trump to do. All these people were all shocked by it. I'm like, why are you shocked? He's been a racist his whole fucking life. Do you, Dion? Sorry to hear that. I guess you just have bad taste in people, or you don't pay too much attention to them. Oh my God, Trump is obsessed with that man. Obsessed with him. He always was. Like Obama single-handedly turned Trump into a Republican. Trump just, I don't know, maybe he feels like he can't compete with Obama or something. The only reason he wants the Nobel Peace Prize as bad as he does is because of Obama. It was supremely racist. Like, I'm debating entire comment sections and just beside myself. Well, it's just like everything else, man. They don't want it to be racist, so they'll say it's not. It's like, Elon Musk when he did the Heil Hitler thing. I mean, there's people that'll tell you to this day it's not what he was doing. Meanwhile, it's identical to Hitler doing it. If you put a side by side, the two videos side by side of Hitler doing it and Elon doing it, identical. And he did it twice. No, hell no, Brian. No. 100 people, guys, please hit the like button. Start hitting it now. I'd appreciate it because I don't know what it is. People don't seem to they think like the like button costs them money or something. It doesn't. So please hit the like and subscribe if you haven't already. This is an anti-Trump channel, so we'll be talking a lot of anti-Trump shit. That's what we do here. And you could jump in the chat whenever you'd like and start talking. And please don't be afraid to send a super chat or a Cash App or a PayPal or a Venmo. These shows do need money to run. That's how it works. So I'd appreciate any contributions. These shows do need. The last show I did a little while ago was pretty good. A lot better than I expected. I'll put this in the chat. Use that. All right. My fellow Republicans need to wake up. I agree. Obama killed more innocent people than any other president ever. How you figure? Deep down, Trump knows he doesn't hold a candle to Obama, and it burns him up inside. It does, Ben. It does. It's a sick obsession. And I mean, he made himself look even worse because obviously, like I said a minute ago, he only wants the Nobel Peace Prize so badly because Obama got it. That's, he wants to try to accomplish anything Obama accomplished. except he took a participation trophy. I mean, somebody else offered their fucking Nobel Peace Prize. It can't even be transferred. You know, he just has possession of the physical, you know, whatever they give you. But he's not a Nobel Peace Prize recipient by any stretch of the imagination. And he never will be, by the way. I think when it comes to Hillary, Joe Biden is about finding an enemy to galvanize. Supporters, in my opinion, are clear. This is the enemy. Oh, yeah. No doubt. Yep. In the first election, it was lock her up. And then, yeah, he says Democrats are the enemy of the people. I mean, it's unbelievable. Yes, he did. And he did it much differently. They won't wake up until they lose their guns. I don't even think that'll bother them. I don't. They are. He has already done what, Margie? Well, if you want to look at it that way, Dion, sure. All right. Now, what does that have to do with Trump exactly? Who cares about the Nobel Peace Prize? Donald Trump. What are you kidding me? Like he's begging for it. He's literally begging for a Nobel Peace Prize. He has other world leaders and shit, nominating him just, as a way of kissing his ass. I mean, he cares about it. And Obama didn't absolutely nothing to earn his Peace Prize. Well, he was the first black president. I don't know if you remember that part. He was the first black president. But regardless of what you say, Obama got a Nobel Peace Prize legitimately. It was given to him. Whether you think there's a good reason for it or not, Trump didn't. Haha, oh bummer. So corny. Your TDS is running rampant just as your mental illness. Wow. Derek, what grade did you make it up to? Third? No, you'd spell better if you made it to third grade. Oh, it's not meaningless. To say it's meaningless would be ridiculous. Thank you, Delta. I appreciate that. Bro, pedo isn't a deal breaker for these MAGA freaks. I don't want to say the whole word. Trump is their identity now and ever. Try and change someone's identity. Yeah, I mean, it's true. And believe me, I never expect to get through to them on here. I just like to have the conversation. Like this question up here. Somehow we'll wind up talking about everything except for this question. But it really is important to me. I'd like to hear from MAGA people. Is there anything that he could do to lose your support? Anything? And Cryptic, you got a point, because, I mean, look, there's numerous allegations about him in the Epstein files, and that's not enough. They moved the goalpost. There, he's not in the Epstein files. Oh, yes, he is. Yeah, well, he's in the Epstein files, but he's not accused of anything bad. Yes, he is. Okay, well, he's accused of something bad, but it's only an accusation. They are the enemy of the people, and to think differently just shows you how dumb this guy is. Who, the Democrats? How so? How was that Russian collusion? You'd have to ask Trump. I mean, it definitely happened. I saw Trump on stage, or on national TV, I should say, saying, Russia, if you're listening, find me the 30,000 emails. You'll be rewarded mightily or greatly, or whatever he said. That's Russian collusion right there. Plus, a lot of people went to jail because of that investigation. A lot of Trump's people. Why do people call us MAGA when it's not even a name of a group? It's literally the initials for a saying. Well, they've been called that for a long time, and Donald Trump even calls MAGA. They've been referred to as the base of Trump's supporters, the most blind, the most ignorant base of support for Donald Trump for a very long time. No, there's nothing he could do. See? I don't know if you're a MAGA person. I'm assuming you are. So even pedo stuff, out the window. Not enough, right? The problem with y'all's logic, that's how you know you're talking to somebody very intelligent. The problem with y'all's logic is most everything said about Trump has been lies. Nope, wrong. Like with the E-files, even the victims say he wasn't involved, yet y'all still try to keep that going. Well, first of all, you're entirely wrong. There was about 12 victims out of over 1,000 that said he never did anything to them. But you ignore Katie Johnson, who was a victim of Epstein, who said that Trump brutally raped her on several occasions. Also, in the Epstein files, Trump is accused of raping children throughout all the fucking files. There's like 10 or 12 fucking accusations. So what do you mean? Obama 2028. Be nice, wouldn't it? Have you ever traveled abroad without a passport? No. What kind of question is that? What do you think of the racist animal video of Obama and Michelle today? Well, it was yesterday, but it's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's something I'd expect Trump to do. I wasn't surprised by it one bit. Harris made all these problems, but yet didn't do jack crap while she was in office. Then how'd she create all these problems? And by the way, I want to ask you a question. I want a serious answer. So what didn't Vice President Kamala Harris do that she was supposed to do? Because you guys sound extremely stupid when you say Kamala didn't do nothing as vice president, when the job of vice president is literally to do nothing. I mean, the one president at a time. That's what they say, right? The vice president, they don't make policy. They don't do anything like that. What was she supposed to do? They can cast tie-breaking votes. She cast more than any vice president in history. Not like that's really an accomplishment, but what was she supposed to do that she didn't do? What does J.D. Vance do that Kamala didn't do? You see, that's where I get you on that question, because quite obviously, vice presidents don't generally do anything. They're there in case something happens to the president. That's what they're there for. Still working on 500 viewers, LOL. How many do you get in your live streams? Just out of curiosity. Kamala never went to the border. Why is that important? She wasn't a border czar. If she was the border czar, you'd have a point. She was never the border czar. That is a name that was given to her literally by Fox News. Joe Biden never said, this is my border czar. Kamala was basically tasked with the responsibility of trying to find out the root cause of migration from Central America to the United States. That's it. She was not a border czar. Yeah. No matter how you slice it, the Obamas were monkeys in the video. Okay. That's how do you, what does the whole video have to do with it? The video that was supposed to be the Lion King, which by the way, has no monkeys in it, just a baboon. So how do you excuse that video? I can't wait to hear this excuse. How is that video okay? She was not in charge. Damian Rodriguez, look it up. See if Kamala was in charge of the border. She never was. Never. It's something you guys hear on Fox News, so you believe it. She was never, ever, ever given the position of border czar. Yeah, well, he didn't give her that position. I'm telling you. Biden's economic numbers make MAGA heads explode. 12.6% GDP growth, 16.6 million jobs created, 1.6 million jobs created in construction and manufacturing, lowest average unemployment rate in 50 years. I know. They just deny all that, though. Let me see. No blacks on Epstein Island. Not that we know of so far. Video is tasteless. It was disgusting. We don't care about the video. We know you don't. You're racist. Why would you? You know what I mean? Why would you? Let me see. No, he didn't. No help for seniors as promised. What, from Trump? If that's what you're talking about, did you really expect any? Trump is gay. If you think Kamala was the border czar, you're simply stupid. Yeah, she wasn't the border czar. She was never the border czar. No facts. Republicans are snowflakes. Where'd that go? They will always melt down. They are the softest people there are out there. They're the most easily offended, softest, pettiest people in the world. It's so funny because they swear that it's the liberals that are like that. And it's the complete opposite. I mean, I've never seen people get butthurt easier. Jay-Z filmed videos on the island. Oh yeah, where's the proof of that? Trump is the great white hope. Yeah, the great white dope. The video is tasteless, but they tried to shoot Trump. Oh, so that makes the video better. And by the way, they did not. Thomas Matthew Crooks tried to shoot Trump. Who's they? You guys are so funny. Everything's a conspiracy except for an actual conspiracy. You see all these Republican elites you guys love in the Epstein files for all the same crazy shit. There's nothing to that. But, you know, you see one kid, a lunatic, who was looking up Biden rallies and every other politicians, just, I guess, deciding he's going to shoot one of them. And he tried to shoot Trump. And that's all Democrats tried to shoot Trump. Liberals. Gotcha. That's a conspiracy. Nothing else, though. Trump best president ever, hands down. Tell me how. Race mixing is treason. Wow. Well, MAGA's in full force today. It's both sides that are soft. Yeah, not like MAGA's, though. You can't change history no matter how you try. Well, I'm not trying to. Dion, I believe you are. Yes, she was, and Biden said she was. Go back and watch the fucking videos, idiot. Says Kamala as my borders are. No, he didn't. We're not get soft. We're not soft. We get trolled by y'all constantly. No, you're soft. I mean, you are. Guys, do you forget things? Do you forget? I mean, holy shit, everything offends you fucking people. You're the most hateful people in the world, the most offensive people in the world, but everything bothers you. Colin Kaepernick practiced his First Amendment right and kneeled for the national anthem. You boycotted Nike, you dummies. We're in your backyards burning your own expensive shit you bought from Nike like anybody gives a fuck. Not even Nike cares. Nike's like, fuck it, we already got the money. Bud Light uses a trans representative or spokesperson, whatever, and oh my God, it's boycott Bud Light. Target has some clothing in there you don't like. Oh, boycott Target. You know, it's business after business. Any business that still has DUI policies in place, boycott them, right? Tom Hanks made a joke about a MAGA person. Basically, he played a character who was supposed to be a MAGA person and wouldn't shake hands with a black guy, which I couldn't, I couldn't think of anything. I couldn't imagine anything more accurate than that. And you guys wanted to cancel Tom Hanks. Charlie Kirk got killed because of his hateful rhetoric. And anybody that talked about Charlie Kirk's death, you wanted them dead. You wanted them fired from their jobs. I mean, you guys, you don't believe in freedom of speech at all. You only believe in your own. Trump is your daddy. At least it's a chick saying daddy this time. Trump is our daddy. She's, oh, okay, our daddy. Yeah. As long as it's not a dude, because dudes call him daddy too, and that's fucking crazy. What does taking a knee to our flag mean? What does taking a knee to our flag mean? Tell me. Nothing. There's nothing. It's simply his way of protesting, which he has the right to. You know how many veterans I spoke to that said he did exactly what we fought for him to be able to do? I mean, what was wrong with it? Tell me. Why, thank you, Socratic meth head. The MAGA people I know personally are mushy-brained idiots for the most part. Yeah, that's all of them for the most part. Oh, shit. Charlie Kirk had zero hateful rhetoric. Yeah, you're right. You're right. He didn't say like Martin Luther King was a terrible guy or the civil rights movement was a mistake, or if I see a black pilot, I'm not getting on that plane, basically. You know, I'm going to wonder if he's qualified, you know. That's not hateful. And if his daughter gets raped at 10 years old, he would force her to have the baby. None of that is hateful. You're right. Yep. Saying that he wants to see executions live on television, public executions. This is why you got to be careful what you wish for, guys. Got to be careful. Trump can't even read a paragraph. No, Carl, he can't. Four Eyes, great one. Yeah. I'm definitely the only one with glasses in the world. And I'm the only bald one, too. Guys, do me a favor. There's 432 people. What I'm going to need from you is this. I'm going to need you to please hit the like button and subscribe. That's first off. And then, of course, if you can, and you're enjoying the show, you're enjoying the entertainment, you like that I fight against these dolts, please throw in the chat, a super chat. Did I put my Cash App, Venmo, PayPal in there? I should have. Any of that. It would help keep the channel going so I could keep doing these live streams. Any of that? Yeah, it's in there. Kirk was making a hateful racist remark as he got clipped. He was. Let's get this out of the way, FBS. You're fucking bald. Just saying. I know. Don't worry. I'll hear it 500 times in this chat. It's very possible. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. MAGA doesn't even transfer to anybody else. MAGA is completely about Trump. You guys are a cult, and he's the leader. Trump shit his pants. He did. Charlie Kirk was murdered because you peeps couldn't handle what he said. He wasn't hateful. He had the right to say whatever and believe whatever he wanted. The hypocrisy is astounding. Well, I got news for you. It was only one guy that did that too. I know you like to blame the whole left, which we could play that same game. We could blame the whole right for what the dickhead did to Melissa Hortman and her husband, murdering them, or what the guy did to, Nancy Pelosi and her husband, Paul. There's all kinds of stuff we could bring on the bring up to blame on the entire right, but we really generally don't do that because we understand the difference between an individual and a group. Look, this guy's making fun of me because I only got 30 likes. You gonna let him get away with that? Hit the like button, guys. And somebody said something about pilots. I want to get to that if I could find it. Black pilot equals Smokey McSmoke-a-lot. It's not racist at all. Somebody said, I don't know, somebody said something about he warned us about black pilots. Could you imagine? These people think that DEI means that a black person gets hired as a pilot, even if he can't fly a plane. You know what I mean? If he applies, hired. What was his last position? Janitor. But they just hired him as a airline pilot. They're not going to hire anybody who isn't qualified. Never in a million years. Their entire fucking business is on the line. Their entire company, corporation is on the line if there's a plane crash, So they don't just hire disqualified pilots or unqualified, pilots. Kirk got taken out by his own. He absolutely did. 38,000 times mentioned in the Epstein files, including, invading a NATO country, answers to Benjamin Yahoo, staged his own assassination attempt, is getting $10 billion in taxpayer dollars in a lawsuit. $10 billion from taxpayers, and these guys are like, no big deal. You know what I mean? Trump has lost my approval. Is there anything that Kamala could do to make you lose your support? That would make you lose your... Oh my God, are you kidding me? Hell yeah. Fucking a million things. I don't care about any politician, guys. I simply vote for who I think would be best. I don't care. We don't care. That's what you guys don't understand about the left and the right. You guys are hyper obsessed with a lifelong New York Democrat billionaire. It's the most ridiculous thing ever. You've been convinced that he cares about you and working people, and you will do anything to protect him. No matter what disgusting shit comes out about him, you will lower yourself, sacrifice any dignity and self-respect you might have, and defend a pedophile because he is your identity. Without Trump, you got no identity. We are not the same. I'll criticize Biden all day. Obama too. Kamala, absolutely. Absolutely. Democrats aren't the incels, buddy. I don't know if you noticed, but all those far right-wing domestic terrorist motherfuckers, school shooters and everything else, they're Republicans. They're from MAGA families and shit. Democrats, nah, bro. It's you guys that women don't even want to fuck anymore because you're MAGA. It's hilarious. Not like they ever did. Guys, please hit the like and subscribe. What are you waiting for Christ's sake? Democrats frauded billions. Fact, they frauded billions. Where did they fraud billions from? No, he is our master. Yes. DEI didn't earn it. Well, then what do you think about Trump's cabinet, just out of curiosity, considering that none of them are in their position? What do you think about Linda McMahon? She gave Trump $2 million and she became the head of the Department of Education, even though she has no degree in education, no experience in education, doesn't know anything about it. How about Pete Hegseth, who was nothing? He just happened to have been in the military. He was nobody special, nobody high ranking. He was basically like a reporter or something. And he is in charge of the entire fucking military now. If you want to talk about didn't earn it, we could go on forever. We could go on forever. But that's not what it means, of course. And listen, I'm not even a big defender of it. I just hate that you guys don't know anything, so you don't understand that either. It's very simple. If a black guy who isn't qualified applies for the same job as a white guy who is qualified, the black guy's not getting hired. Period. Everything requires the same qualifications. You guys talk about jobs like airline pilot and air traffic controller. I mean, think what would happen if they put somebody in charge of aircraft with no experience, and people die because of it. I mean, you're so fucking stupid that you actually believe this is happening. New meta study of 52 studies from the British Journal of Sports Medicine shows that trans women have disadvantages in women's sports. Read and learn, or you're no better than MAGA. Trans women have disadvantages. I'm not even sure. I got to tell you, first of all, I don't even understand the trans stuff. So what's a trans woman? Is a trans woman a man that is now a woman, or is it a woman that is now a man? What is a trans woman? I don't even know. I swear to God, I have no idea. It's not something I think about. So what does that mean? They're at a disadvantage. I've told you, I don't give two shits about that subject. DEI also applies to felons, by the way, so take a good look at where your president is at the moment. Well, not just that, but there's no bigger DEI program in the world than the Electoral College. You know what I mean? Like, fucking Trump won the popular vote this time, not by much, but that's the first time out of 3. And he's not qualified at all. He was never qualified. He still isn't. So talk about didn't earn it. There you go. There's another guy looking around for cock shop, and looking for gay guy. 149 super sticker. Thank you, Sabrina. You're fucking awesome. Why isn't that showing up? Okay, it is. Why does it matter? You're free to pursue your freedoms and happiness. You're doing what you want, right? Yeah, I'm not complaining. I love my. I don't sit around and bitch and moan and blame, fucking conservatives and fucktards. Like, I don't even know what to call you guys other than I don't blame you guys for my problems. You guys blame us for all your problems. I mean, you guys, not just fucking Democrats and liberals. You blame black people, you blame Mexican people, you blame Muslim people, you blame gay people, you blame trans people for anything. Fault. You guys never take responsibility, and your leader is exactly the same way. That's why you guys love him so much, because Trump has given you a reason to escape accountability for your shitty lives by telling you that it's not your fault. I never liked that. I never liked I'm a recovering addict. I never bought it. Don't get me wrong. I know to an extent it is. I know. Don't come for me, recovering addicts. But I was never willing to accept that. It's not my fault. It's a disease. No, I chose to drink alcohol. I chose to do cocaine, things that I knew could be addictive. Okay. I don't like escaping accountability under any circumstances, but that's what you guys do. That's what Trump does. I don't even remember about before I went into the addiction recovery thing, but yeah. It's I don't know. Everything is somebody else's fault. It's just amazing. You guys, you refuse to take accountability. You say the most ass backwards things. You can't get a house or an apartment because immigrants are buying up all the houses and renting all the apartments. When, of course, how the fuck would they be buying houses? Are they paying for them in cash? Because where are they going to get a loan, a mortgage for a house? That's number one. Number two, how is it that you say they're doing all these things that take lots of money, but in the same breath, you say they're dirt poor and they're sucking up all the welfare money? I mean, you guys, you're so confused. You can't even stick to one narrative. So it's just amazing to me, that you guys, everything is. Trump loses the election. He didn't lose. No, it was the Democrats that stole it. Meanwhile, yes, he did lose. That's how you guys are. You listen to him, and he's the biggest victim in the world. Everybody's out to get him. Poor me, poor me, poor me. I still don't know what I was going to say when I went into the addiction recovery thing. I had a specific example, but whatever. You're too stupid to know what a woman is. Oh, I know what a woman is. I know what a woman is. Your wife's trans. See, there you go. There's Alvin just saying that. God, Alvin, you're never going to bother me. Anything you say, my wife is a gorgeous blonde fuckface. I don't care what you say. I've been on YouTube 4.5 years. I was part of a community that was about the history of the mafia. Okay. You know what kind of people I fucking dealt with? Do you have any idea? That still deal with to some extent. Ain't nothing you guys say going to bother me. Believe me. Wait a minute. Somebody just explained the trans thing to me. Hold on. Trans woman is a man who became a woman. Okay, so then the guy's saying that men who became women have a disadvantage in sports, and you told me to read, otherwise I'm just like MAGA. What does that have to do with anything I've ever said? You can read and learn or keep playing dumb. Okay, I have no desire to. It's not a subject I even care to talk about. And fuck off. I got to read and learn. Blow me. The fuck do I have to read about that for? I'm left and I don't support trans women and women's sports. I don't either. I don't. That's another reason I don't even care to talk about it. I don't. They think I'm for it. I don't care about it at all. I don't like the idea of it, but I also know it's not an issue that needs to be worried about. It's not. There's 560,000 NCAA athletes in this country, and like 7 of them are trans. So, you guys, you see one story, it gets blown out of proportion all over Fox News, and you think this is happening every day on every team and every school, middle school, high school, college, in America. You're wrong. It is. Guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like and subscribe. There's 478 people here. And hey, don't be afraid to contribute to the show. Super chat, super sticker, Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. But at least hit the like button and subscribe. It's the right thing to do. This dude is a virgin and not by choice. Whatever Jim Bob, his name is Jim Bob. Whatever makes you feel better, you go right ahead and say it. It's literally the smallest issue to exist, and most Democrats or Republicans don't care about it. No, honestly, don't. The thing about you guys, I'm going to give you my theory on you guys. It's going to make you mad, but I don't give a shit, okay? You guys, what was I going to say? I lost my, you guys are very obsessed, hyper obsessed with dicks. There's no other way to say it. It's bizarre. My theory is that many of you, not all of you, but many of you are closeted, which is fine, but I have reasons for believing that. Nobody hates another group of people that fucking bad. Not a group that's doing something wrong. Like everybody hates pedos, for example, stuff like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about just hating a group of fucking people because you don't agree with their choices. You know what I'm saying? You don't agree with their choices, or there's something about them, their skin color that bothers you. But when people, that's a different type of thing too. I shouldn't have even brought up racism, but you know what I'm saying? When you hate gay people so fucking much that it's all that's on your mind, and you actually vote because of your hatred for gay people, that you vote the way you do, it leads me to believe you're overcompensating, that you're most likely gay. And I'll tell you why. If you look throughout history, and I could read you hundreds of examples, Republican politicians are always the most anti-gay Republican politicians who are always trying to pass anti-gay legislation and take rights away from gay people. It's always them that gets caught in a hotel room somewhere with a guy's dick in his mouth. Always. So a lot of that hatred, to me, you're just overcompensating. The theory is, well, if I hate that I am this, but if I say that I'm not enough and I express hatred for these people, nobody will ever expect it. You know what I mean? Or nobody will ever suspect me of being gay. You know what I mean? That's what I really think that's what goes on with you guys, because I am a straight man who does not think about gay people or trans people for 1 second out of my day. I am a man. I love one thing, and it starts with a P. Okay. And ends with a Y. I just realized that could go the wrong way. That's what I'm concerned with. Women. Okay. You guys are constantly running around looking for dicks. Who has a dick? Who doesn't have a dick? Look at that person over there. You think they have a dick. It's very strange. It's bizarre. It's not normal behavior. You guys, every fucking show, you guys in the chat, trans Mexicans, trans and Mexicans, trans and Mexicans. That's the two issues you voted on. And it's ridiculous because you're again, anybody who's working class and votes Republican, you're voting against your own best interest. You're voting to hurt yourself. But you guys don't even care as long as those people you claim to hate, as long as something's done about them. You know what I mean? That's all it comes down to. And it just blows my mind because I don't know too many gay guys. I met one or two. But there's all the guys I know that are straight, which is pretty much all the guys I know. None of them walk around thinking about gay people or trans people ever. It just doesn't happen. So your hyper obsession with people's genitalia is fucking bizarre. You ever hear about, I don't know, minding your own fucking business? You know, I worked in a factory once building Harleys, and I was going into the bathroom. They used to hire temps. Like every night there'd be more temps. And I went into the fucking bathroom, and this temp is coming out of the bathroom who, believe me, looked like a woman. I mean, she looked more like a woman than she looked like a man. I'll say that. And the person walked past me, and you know what I did? I said, oh, I guess that guy's trans. And then I went on with my life. I didn't hate him. I didn't turn around and spit on him. I didn't, you guys are you're hyper obsessed with dicks, and it's fucking bizarre behavior from people who claim to be straight. Personally, I don't care. Gay people don't bother me. But I mean, when you guys spew that hatred, and in reality, you are what you're pretending to hate, it's kind of hypocritical and ridiculous, don't you think? Sabrina, $2. Once again, MAGA comes unprepared to debate. They've never been prepared, and they never will. They can't stop hoping every chick they meet has a dick. It's true. It's really true. They love chicks with dicks. They do. No question. That's the stupidest shit I could ever hear somebody say. Oh, no, it's not. I use an example, and I hate to repeat the same shit because of the regulars that watch every show, but I'm giving you an example. I'm pretty perceptive. That's why I can't be conned. Like Donald Trump can never con me. I could easily read people, and I could see right through them. When we started this community that was about mafia history and stuff here, okay, there was only a few of us. And one of the guys, his name was MRE. That's what he called himself, right? He was this kid from Providence who had some, mobsters in his family, and he hated rats. That was his whole thing, was hating rats. Every single video he did was just about rats. How much I hate rats, fucking rats. All he talked about is rats. And I told everybody in the community, I said, you watch, we're going to find out he's a rat, because I've been around criminals my whole life. They do not walk around thinking about rats, talking about rats. It's in their mind. They're cautious. They don't deal with anybody who they think might be one, but they do not walk around talking about rats all day. And sure enough, we found out he's a rat. I knew it. I said, watch, we're going to find out he's a rat. And we did. We got some court paperwork on a big gun case he was involved in. He's a convicted felon who got caught with 5 guns, IEDs, which are, explosive devices, brass knuckles, bulletproof vests, an assortment of daggers and other weapons, and some oxycodone and shit. And his case went into thin air for no reason, just disappeared. Okay. And he lied about why that happened, and we found out differently. So, and I knew it. I said, this is not normal. People do not run around talking about rats like this. Same thing with the gay shit. I see a gay guy, I say, hey, I hope he's living his best life. I don't care. He's not bothering me. Trans people don't bother me. I've never been bothered by one, nor has anybody I know. You guys obsess on this bathroom shit. I got women in my family. I've never heard of this. I've never heard of a woman being in a bathroom and a man walking in. Because let me tell you something. Chances are, if they're trans, you might not even know they're fucking men. And what do? They go into a stall because there's no urinals, right? So they go in a women's room, they use a stall, and then they leave. But you guys are terrified. And it's not because you care about women. Please. You don't want women to have the right to vote. You don't want them to have reproductive rights, even if it means they might die on an operating table because of a complicated pregnancy. You don't want single mothers to have food stamps or WIC or Section 8 or anything that might help them. You don't want women to be able to do anything. You don't care about women. There's the Epstein files now where states that Donald Trump has been accused numerous times of raping young girls, and he's already been found civilly liable for sexual assault with E.G. and Carol, and you don't care about any of that. He's your guy. So you don't care about women. It's not about women. It's just about your hatred for trans people, and you want them to have as few rights as possible. You don't want them to have rights. You know, me personally, I don't care. When my daughter was in starting high school and all this shit started with the bathrooms, I called her school because, you know, I said, I don't want no boys in the girls' room with my daughter. And the school said, no, it's nothing like they're explaining. They said, you have to have already transitioned. In other words, they have to already be a female, basically. And there's got to be medical documentation and everything else. A boy can't just walk into the girls' room. Okay. And the funny thing about you guys is you voted based on that, knowing you have to know, right, that there's nothing Trump can do about that. If a mall or a grocery store or a department store says bathrooms are gender, whatever they call it, where anybody could use any bathroom, well, then there's nothing that can be done about that. That's society. It's a speeding train. There's no way to stop it. Things change. That's the difference with conservatives and obviously progressives. Progressives want things to progress, and conservatives want things to stay the same. They want it to be like it was in the 1950s. And you can't have it that way. Times have changed, and Trump is not going to be able to stop that. He's not. He's not. I don't know how powerful you think the president is, but he's not as powerful as you think. So, Aegon, 17, 199, left V, right, bottom V, top. If you're tribal, you lost. Left V, right, bottom V, top. I'm not sure, but thank you very much. What am I missing there? Oh my God, look up. Case law, yes, in Illinois, a guy can go into a girl's bathroom. In schools? Yeah. What are you talking about? I just said that guys can go into girls' bathrooms in places where there's nothing Trump could do to make policy and stuff. Like if a mall or something wants guys to be able to go into the bathroom. What are you saying exactly? Yes, teachers in elementary schools did introduce gay relationships. No, they didn't. Glendale has high. What does that mean? When you hear stupid shit lately, it seems to always start out with y'all. Ain't that some shit? Yeah, exactly. I know. I don't care why people. I don't understand why people are so bothered. They didn't, bro. See, guys, I hope you understand. There's 481 people here, right? So, like, and I'm talking about shit like rapid fire, one thing after another. There's no way I could possibly know what you're talking about when you say they didn't, bro. Why can't you guys be specific in the comments? MAGA has a serious issue with communication. They don't know how to communicate. It's bizarre. Yeah, his brain is mush. Why don't people care about Epstein stuff? Oh, people do. MAGA doesn't because of Trump being in there. They were the ones screaming about it for years. Once they realized the Republicans and Trump were covering up, they were like, man, who cares about the Epstein files? Stop talking about it. Yeah, I hear you, bro. I don't blame you. Stop doing what he promised and became another lying politician. Well, he was always a lying politician. I got to tell you. I mean, maybe not so much the politician part. He joined the arena of politics, I guess you could say, in like 12, something like whenever he started calling Obama out, 2010, for not being a citizen, which is, again, just a racist, ridiculous thing he did. But he's, I mean, I cannot imagine a bigger liar on planet Earth. He's literally the most well-documented pathological liar in history. In his first term, he lied 30,589 fucking times. Verifiable lies. You could look it up. And that's in 4 years. Could you imagine? And 284 of those days he spent playing golf. In the debate with Biden, when Biden couldn't even speak, he lied 36 times in 90 minutes. I mean, it's bizarre. Guys have zero business in female sports. I agree, but I'm not bothered by it like you are. That's what gets me, is how you're bothered by it. I see women go in men's bathrooms. Well, if you notice, retired JW, men are never worried about that. They don't care if women go in men's rooms. It's the men going in women's rooms that scares them. And I'll tell you what I say in a lot of these shows now. It's so funny because they are simple-minded, and they don't understand much. But this is what I'll tell you guys. Like, you'll always say that it's dangerous. There's sexual predators that are going to pretend to be trans so they can go to the bathrooms and molest and rape. Now, if a guy is going to do that, he's going to do it, regardless of the rules. Think about what you're saying. You're talking about crimes that could get you 20 years, 40 years, life in prison. They're willing to commit them, but only if they're allowed in the bathroom. You don't think if they want to do that to somebody, they'll just run up in the bathroom regardless of the rules, considering they're already breaking, it's like some of the biggest rules in the history of the world, crime, they're committing crimes, breaking laws. I mean, you guys think that's what they need, that a bunch of sexual predators who's been waiting to M-word and grape and, do stuff to little girls and women. You think they've been sitting around waiting for, man, I swear to God, if they ever say I'm allowed in women's rooms, I'm fucking raping everybody. You think? You really think they're waiting on that? You think they care? Bro, my sister is pregnant. I'm going to be a dad again. Congratulations. You must be MAGA. Kids hear more about trans people from MAGA than they hear. Oh, yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. My 13-year-old stepson is in school, middle school. I've asked him for years now. Every now and then I'll ask him, are they teaching you any of this stuff, Braden? Like any of this gay stuff or trans stuff? And he looks at me like I have 6 heads. He says, no, of course not. And I have a woman in my family that's a teacher. Same thing. They have to ask the kids what their preferred pronouns are, which I think is absurd, but that's it. That's it. You're like, all this stuff you've been convinced is happening isn't happening. Cat litter, that's the best ones. There's kitty litter boxes in schools throughout America. And of course, if you look it up, there has never, not one school ever, that's had a litter box in it for human use. Okay? Never. It's never happened. But you guys swear up and down it's true. You guys get manipulated. You're very easily manipulated. Like, I could sell you guys anything. If I could go to a neighborhood that's all MAGA, I could make $1 million. I could sell you magic beans. And even after you find out they don't work, you'd buy more. I could convince you guys of anything. And that's what Trump knows about you, is that there's nothing like that. You can't be talked into believing if it's something you want to hear. If it's something you want to hear. Yes, they did. Or you're going to lie that openly. Again, howdy. I have no idea what you're talking about. We get to the bottom. Guys, do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe. It's very, very important. So you're a millionaire then? No, why would you say that? What makes you think I'm a millionaire? Oh, no, I know it's true. Guys, listen. Somebody said you wish that were true. I know it's true. I know it's true. I mean, no offense, but you guys are, I don't want to get into this whole thing with the states and all this shit, but let me tell you something, okay? Donald Trump, his entire life, not since he started running for president, his entire life has been known for one thing above everything else, being a con man. Everybody knew this about him throughout decades, especially if you're from New York. Every fucking buddy knew the guy cheated his way through business and still failed miserably most of the time. He would go bankrupt and stiff employees. There was union workers, entire unions he didn't pay for building his fucking buildings. Shit like this. He would crush small businesses. He put people out of business deliberately by accepting hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of services and then refusing to pay and saying, if you don't like it, sue me, knowing that they couldn't afford to sue him. And people went bankrupt, mom and pop businesses. He's a horrible, despicable fucking human being. 28 credible accusations of sexual assault since the 1970s, not since he started running for president. He openly cheated on every wife he's ever had. Everybody knows this. There's no denying that. 1989, his wife accused him in court filings of brutally raping her. 1986, He was accused of raping Katie Johnson with Jeffrey Epstein. He's Jeffrey Epstein's best friend for at least 10 years. He once said, Jeffrey's a great guy to be with, which is a weird way for a dude to word it. It's even said he likes beautiful women as much as I do, and many of them are on the younger side. Now, when you're talking about a regular guy, people would take that to mean 18, 19, 20. When you're talking about the most prolific pedo in American history, he's talking about children. Okay? He fucked a porn star behind his current wife's back while she was at home with their newborn, then paid her a hush money payment so she wouldn't tell the voting electorate, then falsified documents illegally to cover up that hush money payment, got convicted of 34 felonies. He's twice impeached and civilly liable for sexual assault. And you guys walk around believing and saying that he is a good man who cares about his country. He can't be bought. Meanwhile, he's the greediest man on planet Earth. And he cares about the working people. That's why I know I could. I know I could. There's no doubt about it. No question. You guys are gullible as a motherfucker. You're suckers. Look, Trump says it. You think Trump doesn't know? Trump stood in front of tens of thousands of you and said, I love the poorly educated. We won with the poorly educated. I mean, look at this.
Smart people don't like me, and they don't like what we talk about.
And that's not taken out of context. They were talking in the Oval Office and something came up about that. And he said, smart people don't like me. So he's talking about you guys obviously not being smart because you do like him, right? So he knows this. He said it plenty of times about you guys. Nobody believes he's stupider, that you guys are stupider than Trump does. Or nobody believes you guys are stupid more than Trump does. I'm sorry. So it's funny. I mean, you get conned. You've been conned 3 times now. And nothing he's doing is good for working class people. But you still support him and love him. Farmers, look what he did to farmers. Oh, my God. We had like 300 more farmer bankruptcies last year than we had in 2024. Because he tariffed China. China stopped buying soybeans, and our soybean farmers were fucked. That's why he had to give them billions of dollars to bail them out, just like he did in his first term when he tariffed China. Then, to fuck over more of our people, he said, well, we're going to increase beef imports from Argentina. So now our cattle ranchers make less money. They're fucked too. And then JD Vance and his friends and companies like BlackRock and shit, they're buying up all the property, where these farms go bankrupt. So it's you don't even understand what's happening. The man has made $3.8 billion since he took office in January of 2025. He's sold pardons. He's been bribed like crazy. And you guys walk around believing he's honest and he can't be bought. The guy gave a fucking scumbag who pardoned or who laundered money for pedophiles and terrorists and drug lords and pleaded guilty to his crimes. Wasn't convicted, just pled guilty. Trump gave him a pardon because the guy got him a $2 billion investment in his company, World Liberty Financial. I mean, he took the jet, a complete bribe from Qatar. And you guys, it's not like you guys just walk around. If you guys said, listen, I know he's a scumbag, but I support him, I'd say, okay, that makes you a scumbag, but at least I can't say you're 100% stupid. It's when you guys walk around telling us that anything bad said about him is fake news or Trump derangement syndrome, and he's really this guy. It's just amazing. And we can't see it. Liberals are so deranged. We just can't see what a good man he is. This is a guy who would sell his fucking firstborn for the right price. He can't even be loyal to a wife. He's a complete and total piece of shit. And you guys worship him. And then on top of all this shit, you walk around calling yourselves Christians. It's unbelievable. It really is. It never ceases to amaze me. Never. Trump did say, I love the uneducated. Yeah. Well, he knows, guys, let me tell you something. There's a reason that red states are the least educated states. They are. Okay. They're worst in education. They have lower rates of, high school graduates, people with college degrees, advanced college degrees, standardized testing. They're worse than that. They're dumb states. And that's how Republicans want it, because smart people are not voting Republican unless they're billionaires. Then it's in your best interest. But they're not voting Republican because Republicans have no desirable policies whatsoever for working class people. None. None. So when you hear Republicans, and they say it all the time, don't go to college. College is a waste of time. Learn a trade. You know, Charlie Kirk used to say it too. College and universities waste of time. You don't need that. And the Republicans always tell you that. Meanwhile, every one of those Republican politicians that tells you that, they went to Harvard, they went to Yale, they went to places like that. They graduated and they send all their kids to colleges and universities. But they tell you guys, don't worry about that. Go learn a trade. You know why? Because they need to keep you dumb. The more educated you are, the less chance you're going to vote for Republicans. Fox News even reported it. A higher percentage of people with high school diplomas and college degrees voted for Kamala than Trump. So they know, yeah, the only way to keep you guys voting for them is to keep you uneducated. You know, but what's amazing is that they also go out of their way to keep you poor. And even that you haven't figured out yet. You haven't realized, oh my God, wait a minute. I've been voting for this guy over a 12-year period of time at this point. Well, you know what I'm saying? Not 12. It'll be 12 years by the end of his term. And my life is the same. Nothing's gotten better. You know what I mean? You don't get it. Like those states, those red states are still the least educated. They're the worst in healthcare. They have the highest rates of violent crime. They're the worst states to live in the country. And you guys just stay there and you keep voting Republican. You keep doing it. No, it's like nothing can stop you. But with Trump, that's a whole other level of ignorance. I mean, Jesus Christ. Believing him. They have been brainwashed in college. No. They've been taught. They've learned in college. That's what they convince you of. Go to college, you'll get brainwashed. No. People who go to college, they gain more knowledge. There you go. I'm a poet and I don't know it. That's how it works. When you go to school, you learn things, you know? But politicians tell you stuff like that because they don't want you going to school, period. If it was up to them, there would be no schools. Why do you think they want to get rid of the Department of Education and all that? They need a stupid electorate so they can keep winning elections. The smarter people are, the less chance they have. So they keep you guys poor. They keep you working bullshit jobs. They want you to learn trades. So instead of being, you know, a fucking an executive of a Fortune 500 company, you're a fucking welder or something like that, truck driver, you know, and that guarantees you'll keep voting for them. You'll keep voting for them because they've also convinced you that they're the party of the working class. Meanwhile, they're anti-union. They're anti-workers' rights in general. It's because of them. The minimum wage hasn't been raised since 2009. Wages are always stagnant under them. The economy always does worse under them. Jobs numbers are always worse under them. Everything. But you guys are like, yeah, they got my vote. Trump, of all people, the guy who's world famous for being a lying con man. You guys are like, I believe every word he says. I've seen you say it. I've seen people say, I trust no one but Trump. He's the only one telling me the truth. And it's like, wow, that is fucking ignorance on a whole other level. You are an idiot of epic magnitude. I mean, he's the only one that tells you the truth. He's the only one lying to you 24 hours a day. But that's brainwashing. You don't get brainwashed in college. You get brainwashed in MAGA. You guys walk around like mindless robots telling us all how nothing Trump does is wrong. Any accusation made against him is false. He's the most persecuted president in history. None of the crimes he committed was he actually guilty of. Meanwhile, he's the lowlife he's always been, and he was not persecuted. He was simply prosecuted for his crimes. You know? It's just amazing that you guys, after all these years, you still haven't seen it. He's fucking you guys over, and me too. Anybody who's not a zillionaire in this country is getting fucked over. 24 million people are going to lose their health insurance thanks to the Republicans. Trump specifically. And then we're going to have hospitals closing all over, mainly your red states in the red rural areas. And then in 2026, they said we're going to lose about 350,000 jobs. Nurses are going to, about 350,000 nurses will lose their jobs because of this shit. Doesn't even affect, you don't even know. You don't even know what I just told you. Fox don't tell you this shit. You know, it's crazy, man. You guys, choose to remain in this right-wing media bubble where no inconvenient information can penetrate your bubble. So you go around looking for, it's all confirmation bias. You look for podcasters and live streamers and YouTubers, whoever, that is just confirming your bias, telling you exactly what you want to hear. And that's all you want to listen to. So when you hear a guy like me, I'm everything. Except for what I actually am. According to you guys, I'm a stupid liberal. I'm a libtard. I'm gay. I'm a pedo. I'm fucking. I got Trump derangement syndrome. I'm retarded. All these things because you don't like what I'm saying. Meanwhile, I don't lie ever. Never. I don't even lie about Donald Trump. I've stopped listening to podcasters who lie about Donald Trump. It's just not my thing. I don't like lying. But you guys are all in, man. You're rich people and all the Hollywood influencers that are morally bankrupt and hate their lives because of the perverse choices that you make, that I make as a person. You're rich people and all the Hollywood influencers that are morally bankrupt. Josh, let me go over this again because apparently you didn't hear me. So you guys are defending a man that's been accused of child rape probably a dozen times just in the Epstein files alone. Heinous, disgusting accusations of rape and pedophilia. You guys defend him no matter what. Even when a jury of his peers that was picked out by his lawyers, right along with the other sides, and they say he's found civilly liable for rape. Rape is not a bridge too far. Pedophilia is not a bridge too far. There are no people in this country more morally bankrupt than you, Josh, and MAGA. Nobody. You have no morals. You stand for nothing whatsoever. You stand for nothing. You stand for Trump. That's it. You don't give a fuck about anyone else. You don't care. You don't care about children who get assaulted. You don't care. So please, not from a MAGA person. Don't ever try to call somebody else morally bankrupt. You voted for a guy who, at the very least, is a lifelong documented pervert and a con man. Okay? Jesus Christ. Morally bankrupt. Holy shit, Josh. Bad words to use to describe Hollyweird people, as you call them. Any one of those Hollyweird people are 10 times a better person than Donald Trump. And probably you yourself, Josh. The college graduates are institutionally indoctrinated. See, this is what they keep you believing. This is what, because they don't want you sending your kids to college either. No, they don't want smart people. It's funny, man, because I know tons of college graduates. I was with a girl for years that had a master's degree in behavioral science. And I just don't know any that are brainwashed or indoctrinated. The only people I see on a daily basis who are indoctrinated and brainwashed are MAGA, you guys with the red hats and the identical shirts and the flags with Trump's name on them and the yard signs and the fucking bumper stickers and everything else. I mean, you are, I can't imagine a better example of sheep. You stand around wearing the same goddamn clothes, worshiping the same man who repeats the same nonsense day in and day out without fail, lying through his fucking teeth, telling you mathematically impossible things like, I'm going to lower prescription drug costs by 1,500%, and you eat it up. I mean, come on. I could sell you guys magic beans and bridges all day. First of all, I'm a hell of a salesman. Secondly, you guys are easy marks. You know what I mean? I'll have you buying vacuum cleaners that don't work, all types of shit. I could sucker you into anything. He likes uneducated people because he could put anything over on them. Of course. Yeah. He wants suckers. He don't want, you know why the guy ran as a Republican? No Democrats would ever vote for that guy to be president. Nobody. All we have to know about is his past. He cheated on his wives and shit. Nope. That's a no-go. And guess what? It would have been for any other presidential candidate in history, but not him. He said, I could stand on Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody and I won't lose any supporters. Now, he wasn't like complimenting you guys, saying you're loyal. He was calling you stupid. He was saying that even if my base sees me murder somebody in cold blood, they'll still vote for me. So if you thought that was a compliment, you're wrong. You are wrong. God fucked up perfectly good dick when he put ears on you. And another guy, Michael, has dick on the brain. Going back to my earlier theory, I told you they're obsessed with dicks. To be MAGA, you have to be inhuman. No, there's nothing Trump could do to lose MAGA support. No, nothing. I was married to a car salesman for 25 years. Nobody gets over on me, especially the worst salesman, Donald Trump. See right through him. Well, that's why, listen, I named this channel Street Smart Politics for a reason. I am not book smart. I did not go to college. None of that shit. But I can't be conned. I can see through you no matter what. I've plenty of people that have tried it. It doesn't work. I could pick out bullshit from a mile away. That's why I call it street smart politics. Because if you have any street smarts at all, I don't care if you're from the hills of Alabama or the streets of Brooklyn, you cannot be conned by anybody, but especially not. Listen, man, I understand if a guy comes to you, he seems legit. You don't know anything about him, but he's well-spoken. He's articulate. He seems, on the up and up. I could see being fooled by somebody like that. Maybe for you guys anyway, not for me. But when the whole world is telling you, watch out, he's a con man. He's a liar. He's full of shit. You guys just choose to ignore it and get suckered by him anyway. That's the funny thing is they think Democrats and liberals, whatever. I think there's a difference. I don't think every Democrat's a liberal, but they think that like this is just out of hatred for Trump. We just say these things. Meanwhile, we have been trying to save your asses for years now from yourselves. Somebody eventually has to teach you guys how to vote. You don't understand. You vote against everything that you're supposed to stand for, everything you claim to stand for. And you vote in favor of people. You vote for people who have no desire to do anything but hurt you and keep you down. It's astonishing. Nobody thinks that, John. There's not a person in the world, unless they're severely mentally ill, who believes that. That's what I mean, John. You're one of the suckers I'm talking about. Fox News tells you, because they don't want you to notice that they're the craziest batshit political party ever. Okay. And this current period, the people that are in office now for the last 10 years or 12 years. So they deflect. They say, no, look at the liberals. They're so crazy. They think men can have babies. Meanwhile, no, we don't. No, I don't know anybody who thinks that. There's nobody on planet Earth who believes that, but they convince you of this shit. They do it with everything. They did it with the Sydney Sweeney commercial. They tell you our hair is on fire. We're losing our fucking minds about issues we don't give two shits about. Nobody thinks men can get pregnant. Nobody. And by the way, let's just say people did. It would make them no crazier than you guys believing that Trump is a patriot who loves his country and just wants the people to do well. The guy has spent $110 million in taxpayer money on golf trips so far. Last year, it cost him $20 million to go to the Super Bowl because of all the fucking Secret Service and everything else. He spent, I think he was there for half the game and left because he didn't want to see the black people performing. So he left at halftime. Kendrick Lamar was too much for him. I mean, he took a bribe of a $400 million jet. It's going to cost about $1 billion in taxpayer money to retrofit it, make it safe for the president. It won't be done until about 2028. And then in 2029, when he leaves office, the plane goes with him. The Department of Defense, the Air Force, they do not keep it. I told you, I said on the last show, you guys like to argue this. All you got to do is a simple Google search, ChatGTP, Grok, whatever you want. Donald Trump, that plane goes to his presidential library when he leaves office. So $1 billion in taxpayer money to retrofit a plane that he might be able to use for 6 months tops. And then he takes it with him. No other president in the future will be able to use it. You guys, none of this bothers you. None of this. But then again, I doubt you even know any of this. Yeah, that's not a thing, Dan Travis. That never happened. God almighty, we go through this on every show, every single show. Here. Did Joe Biden ever sniff children? Help keep the channel going so I can keep doing these.
Have confirmed that widespread claims and videos suggesting that Joe Biden aggressively sniffed children are false and the media used digitally altered content. The videos were found to be edited or taken out of context. 1. A viral video from June 2023, where a loud sniffing sound was added, actually showed Biden leaning in to speak with a baby being held by its mother.
See what I mean? And you guys are fooled by that too. Somebody adds a sniffing sound to a retards for the next 5 years or so, telling people how Joe Biden sniffs children. Meanwhile, don't act like that bothers you. If Trump raping women doesn't bother you, sniffing children, that's too far. Molesting them, that's no problem. Get the fuck out of here, guys. You're so full of shit. No, they're not. And again, see, this is what I mean. Like, so we got Trump credibly accused of all types of pedo shit and grape, but that don't mean anything to you. But a group of people that you do not know, and you don't even have any real statistics or numbers whatsoever to throw out there. You don't know anything as fact. You just claim illegals are pedos. And if I ask you, which I'll ask you right now, what percentage of them are pedos? How do you know? How has it been proven? You have no idea. You go on vibes. You say they're pedos because you think they are. Same thing you did with Democrats. Meanwhile, when you find an actual pedo, as long as you like him, he ain't no pedo. That's why nobody takes you guys seriously. Nobody in the world. Yeah, the most low-life president ever. You guys are like the laughing stock of the world, and you don't get it. You think Trump is taken seriously and respected. Look, he showed up to Davos or whatever. Nobody was even there to greet him. He totally blew him off. He's at the the different summits. World leaders are laughing at him and making fun of him. I mean, the biggest clown on the face of the earth, and you guys live and die by him. You swear by this guy. Guys, do me a favor, please. Hit the like button and subscribe. There's 417 people. And if you're watching, you must like the show, right? I don't care what MAGA does. I don't ask MAGA for anything. But you guys who are on the right side of things, the smart people, please hit the like and subscribe. It's extremely important. It's extremely important. Keep going, guys. I'm watching the number now. We can get a lot more than that. And sub. I do these shows every day. No, the show is a dog shit. Yeah, because you don't like what I'm saying. You don't like what I'm saying. Yeah, I know, Kim. Unfortunately, it's true. Thank you, G-Ride. Thank you very much, brother. Guys, hit the like and subscribe. And if you don't mind, like I said, because these shows all need money, even the bigger shows, Dean and Parker, all of them, they ask for donations. That's what you got to do on here. So if you could send a super chat or Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal, I'd appreciate it. Every one of them, Randall, including Putin and Netanyahu, the two guys that own Trump. Everybody is laughing at Trump. Trump is ridiculous. Guys, I mean, do you ever look at Donald Trump? Do you see Donald Trump for what he is? Do you see that this is a man who is 70 or 80 fucking years old, just about 79 years old? He's bleach blonde. He wakes up every morning and he paints himself orange. The anti-gay party loves a man who covers himself in at least one coat of makeup every single morning. He paints himself orange. He goes out to the world. He has the fucking raccoon. His eyes around here are all pure white. Everything around his face is orange as Cheetos. He's morbidly obese. He can barely walk anymore. He has to drag his right leg because he had a fucking stroke. He's got heart failure. He's a goddamn mess. And by the way, he is completely and totally out of his fucking mind. He's got dementia, no question. You guys look at this guy and take him seriously. The 80-year-old bleach blonde jerk off that paints himself orange every morning. And you don't see how that's, strange. You don't ask yourself, the fuck am I doing supporting this guy? Look at him. You know what I mean? Jesus Christ. Sabrina Merrick, $2. I don't buy Apple or watch FIFA. They suck. Oh, gotcha. I hate Apple with a fucking passion. Chat GTP is controlled by the Democratic Party, of course, until they give you an answer that you like. Like if I Google right now, is there any proof Trump went to the island? Chat GPT is going to say no. And that's true. Are you going to say they're lying? No. You're going to say that's true, right? If they say Clinton never went to the island, you'll say they're lying. So, guys, listen, we know what you're all about. Facts mean nothing. You're allergic to facts. You don't let facts get in the way of your ridiculous arguments. And anything that doesn't say what you want it to say must be lying, or if it's a person, must be deranged, whether it's a media outlet, whatever it is. It can't be true because your guy is infallible. He's perfect. He's a god. That's the way you see him, you know? Okay, so give me the numbers, Danny. Because, you know, I got news for you, Danny. Here in America, American citizens have been raping kids. And I mean, our goddamn Trump is, our president is a rapist. You know that, right, dummy? And a pedophile. So when you say you're full of shit, dude, all illegal and illegals are pedos here in the UK, illegal immigrants have been raping kids. I don't know if you know that, but there in the UK, citizens have been doing the same thing. You know, are you kidding me? You just started finding out about these crimes when illegals started popping up? Even though it's been proven that illegals commit crimes at a much lower rate than American citizens, and for good reason. American citizens, if I get busted for a crime today, I get bail, I'm out tonight. If I'm illegal, I'm going back to a third world country if I get caught. So they're not exactly coming here, anticipating all the crimes they're going to commit. Oh my God, I can't wait to grape somebody so I can be sent back to this fucking hellhole I'm from, you know? Do you guys put thought into anything? And again, Danny, this is your opinion. If it was a fact, you would tell me what percentage of them are rapists and pedos. What percentage? Tell me who. Jamie, $4.99 super sticker. Thank you, Jamie. I appreciate it, brother. Biden had dementia, dumbass. He would even take a cognitive test. I think you meant he wouldn't. Let me explain something to you about the cognitive tests. The fact that Biden didn't take one is a good thing. First of all, people don't go around volunteering for cognitive tests. It was never an issue until Trump said Joe Biden should have a cognitive test. Biden, you think he's so soft that he's going to say, oh, Trump said I have to have a cognitive test. I better get one. Nobody was looking for Biden to get a cognitive test. And I'll tell you what else. People don't voluntarily take cognitive tests. I know Trump has convinced you of this. But doctors recommend cognitive tests. That thing that Trump keeps describing to you as some sort of IQ test, it's called the the Montreal Cognitive Exam. Okay, it exists solely for the purposes of diagnosing dementia and tracking the stage of it. Okay, and you know how they track the stage of it? Periodically, they have you take another one. And another one, and another one. That's why Trump has taken 3 in a year. That is ridiculous. If you believe Trump is going up in Walter Reed and saying, give me a cognitive test, you're dumber than I thought. It's his doctors ordering them. Joe Biden's doctors never ordered him a cognitive test, which means that they weren't worried, right? So Trump is taking these tests because he has dementia. Guys, here. Listen to this question he's asked twice. Listen to his answer. Listen, focus, pay attention, and tell me this man doesn't have dementia.
Okay, please, in the back.
Dana Marie McNichol, Fox News Channel. Mr. President, is there an expected time frame that detainees will spend here, days, weeks, months? And does that have anything to do with the immigration judges you just spoke about being trained and staffed here?
When you say, what was the first part of your question?
Is there a specific time frame you expect the detainees to spend here? Days, weeks, months?
In Florida?
Yes, here at Alligator Alcatraz.
I'm going to spend a lot. Look, this is my home state. I love it. I love your government. I love all the people around. These are all friends of mine. They know them very well. I mean, I'm not surprised that they do so well. They're great people. Ron has been a friend of mine for a long time. I feel very comfortable in the state. I'll spend a lot of time here. I want to, for 4 years, I've got to be in Washington, and I'm okay with it because I love the White House. I even fix up the little Oval Office. I make it, it's like a diamond. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It wasn't maintained properly, I will tell you that. But even when it wasn't, it was still the Oval Office, so it meant a lot. But I'll spend as much time as I can here. My vacation is generally here because it's convenient. I live in Palm Beach. It's my home. And I have a very nice little place, nice little cottage to stay at, right? But we have a lot of fun, and I'm a big contributor to Florida, pay a lot of tax. And a lot of people move from New York, and I don't know what New York is going to do. A lot of people moved to Florida from New York, and it was for a lot of reasons, but one of them was taxes. The taxes are so high in New York, they're leaving. I don't know what New York's going to do about that, because some of the biggest, wealthiest people and some of the people that pay the most taxes of any people anywhere in the world, for that matter, they're moving to Florida and other places. So we're going to have to help some of these states out, I think. But thank you very much. I'll be here as much as I can.
And his doctors see shit like that and say, Mr. President, maybe you should take another cognitive test. Yeah, this is the guy that when you guys walk around talking about Biden being out of his mind, I want to show you who your guy is.
Ladies and gentlemen.
When she gets in
That's your guy. And I could show you clips for days of him just, rambling and saying the most bizarre shit and answering questions that weren't even asked of him and just, making noises and doing weird shit on stage. The guy's out of his fucking mind. And you guys are like, yeah, Biden was all fucked up. Biden was, but no worse than Donald Trump. No, matter of fact, I say Trump is much worse. Much worse, because Trump, on top of his mental health deteriorating, his physical health is too. There's no question he had a stroke in the summer. No question about that. Now he walks around dragging his right leg. He falls asleep constantly on TV, and his mouth hangs off his face when he falls asleep. He's got congestive heart failure. His ankles are this fucking big. He is a mess at 80 years old. He's not going to make it much longer. I got news for you. Sabrina Merrick, $2. His scalp reduction surgery was a massive failure. Thank you for the $2. Yeah, and that goes back to the grape story with Ivana. JGB, $7.99. Fuck Donald Trump. Thank you, brother. I agree. I should show you guys a video. There's another one I'll tell you about. Sabrina Merrick, $2. Reporters should have asked why he didn't answer it. Yeah, well, they're always running cover for this fucktard. They never press him on anything, because if they do, let's face it, he'll take their press passes away. He'll berate them and belittle them, and it's what he does. Let me see something. There's no watch, Juggernaut. We have freedom of choice in this country. You could simply turn it off instead of crying like a little bitch in the chat. You know that, right? Make asylums great again. Well, that's another thing. The fucking guy. I mean, all those times he would talk about Hannibal Lecter, and he would talk about how Hannibal Lecter's a great guy and he would love to have you for dinner. I mean, he would do that because he was trying to like express to people how dangerous people from other countries are, because they're all coming here from jails and insane asylums, which, by the way, there was no proof of that whatsoever. But somebody figured out the reason he kept saying that, because nobody knew. They're like, why does he keep saying they're coming from insane asylum? I thought it was just because he lies constantly. Then they figured out that he doesn't know what asylum is. Like when somebody says, oh, this guy was seeking asylum, he doesn't know what that is. He only knows asylum to mean one thing. So when he hears immigrants and asylum, oh my God, they're coming from insane asylums. There's no bullshit. That's your president. Yeah, we know Biden isn't the president. Ask Biden to spell America or Minnesota. What about the railroad track across the Pacific Ocean? I have no idea what any of that means. But if you think that Joe Biden isn't light years smarter than Donald Trump, even in his old age, senile, and everything else, you're crazy. He doesn't have to do anything his doctors say. If he's concerned about his own dementia, like his father had Alzheimer's and he saw his father go through that, he's going to do what the doctors say. It's just cognitive tests. Plus, then he can come out and say how he just took an IQ test and he aced it, which is the most absurd. Guys, this is how you know he's a fucking moron, and you guys are morons too. When a man comes out and tells you, I just aced my cognitive test, you should pick him up, put him in a car, take him to a nursing home in the locked unit, the Alzheimer's unit, and leave him there. Okay? Nobody would brag about that. It's not an IQ test. It doesn't measure intelligence in any way, shape, or form. It's simply to determine whether or not someone has dementia, and if so, how far along it is. And he talks about, I aced my for years now, aced my cognitive. It's so embarrassing. People all over the world are watching this like, oh my God, are all Americans this dumb? No, guys, for anybody wondering, only about half. He lost me in the 90s when he was running around owning Miss Junior. Well, yeah, that's another thing. Isn't it funny? The guy that's constantly being accused of pedophilia just happened to have bought Miss Teen USA back in the day. Yeah, John, just because you don't like what I'm saying, I would eat you alive in a debate. You know that, right? Poor baby. He took the test to prove that he's okay. You can tell that he's okay by listening to him speak. He doesn't stammer. He speaks clearly. He might be an asshole, but he's nothing like Biden. All right, I'm glad you said that. Let's see some things here. Hold on. And is that the only requirement, that he doesn't stammer? Because you know that Joe Biden had a stutter his entire life, right? So it's the way he speaks. But let me see here. Let's see what we can find. Where's this one? Why do I always lose this? Bear with me, guys. And please hit the like button and subscribe.
3 and 4. We're scheduled to be at 4%, which is pretty amazing because we have a deadhead Fed hair. I mean, this guy, the head of the Federal Reserve.
The deadhead Fed hair? Yeah.
And my stupid people, when I wanted to refute it, they said, sir, don't dignify it with a rebuttal.
Have you been noticing peculiar behavior recently in someone you know?
Carried out by Ray.
Someone who mixes fiction and reality?
The late, great Hannibal Lecter. He's a wonderful man.
Perhaps someone of advanced age you have known for years.
Did you just see Maduro, Venezuela? It's unbelievable, Venezuela.
Of course, we all have our goofs. But consistently odd behavior can be a sign of frontotemporal dementia, a degenerative disease of the frontal and temporal lobes of the brain that dramatically impairs cognitive function. And there are some key signs to look out for, like slurring words.
The failing New York Times by anonymous, really anonymous.
Struggling to find the correct words is another sign.
The Mueller report, I wish, covered the oranges of the investigation.
You may also notice someone veering into incoherent ideas, detached from reality.
You know what I'd do if there was a shark or you get electrocuted? I'll take electrocution every single time. I'm not getting near the shark.
Or an inability to complete simple sentences.
Saudi Arabia and Russia will repeat.
Other notable symptoms include impaired motor function, such as a wavering limb, and decreased balance, often accompanied by a signature lean or arched stance. If someone you know is demonstrating several or all of these symptoms, they are seriously unwell. As a matter of safety, they must be relieved of critical responsibilities and disqualified from any position of authority. Remember, frontotemporal dementia is a degenerative disease. Cognitive function will never return and will only deteriorate further. Don't ignore the signs.
Yeah. And we got a genius right here who said the hypocrisy of the left never ceases to amaze me, like avoiding sharks is a senile thing to say. Yes, sir. When you're doing a rally and you're supposed to be presenting your case to the American people so you can be elected, and you're supposed to be talking about policy proposals and stuff like that, and out of nowhere, you start talking about electric boats, sharks, Hannibal Lecter, and Al Capone, yet you've lost your fucking mind. You've lost your mind. No, I have more.
I think you should take a cognitive test like I did. I took a cognitive test and I aced it. Dr. Ronnie Johnson, does everyone know Ronnie Johnson, congressman from Texas? He was the White House doctor. How good did at least Stepanakert. You know, we've endorsed Dr. Oz. We've endorsed JP, right? JD Mandel, and he's doing great. Jimmy Connors is good. He's also happy.
Mike Bolton, John Bolton is here. Mike Bolton, as you know, is in Russia. And there was progress today. I look forward to solving it.
Thank you, Steve. It was Trump's fault. It's always Trump's fault. Can it ever be like Rick Gates' fault? I mean, it's always Trump's fault, Rick. By the way, they never report the crowd on January 6th. You know, Nikki Haley, you know, did you know they destroyed all of the information, all of the evidence, everything, deleted and destroyed all of it, because of lots of things. Like Nikki Haley is in charge of security. We offered her 10,000 people. We have some of our great business leaders and leaders, period, right behind me. I may ask Marilyn Lockheed. We appreciate it very much, Tim Apple. Yes, please, Mr. Kurd.
Thank you very much for your time.
You know what was interesting? Joe Biden won against Barack Hussein Obama. Has anyone ever heard of him?
Arrest their leading political opponent, they're leading by a lot, including Obama. I'll tell you what, you take a look at Obama and take a look at some of the things that he's done.
And Putin, you know, has so little respect for Obama that he's starting to throw around the nuclear word today. You heard that, nuclear.
Thanks for giving your first comments on the bill on this show. It means a lot to us. We appreciate it, sir. Thanks a lot.
You have a deal. Thanks a lot. Bye.
Joe Bright, this guy is just the worst. So will Christian ever run for president against you? And you heard the prime minister, you heard Netanyahu. Maybe have Matt Blum speak next, because
that video is like two minutes longer than what I played you. I mean, there's a lot there, but the best. Well, first of all, I'd say that the top two are suggesting that people inject disinfectant to cure a virus. That is got to be at the top. And the other one would be straight-faced, sitting at a press conference, telling the whole world that his uncle, John Trump, taught the Unabomber at MIT, and how Trump and the Unabomber Trump and Dr. John Trump, his uncle, they would sit around and have conversations about what kind of student the Unabomber was. And his uncle would tell him he was a seriously good student. He used to go around correcting everyone. If that's not dementia, then you just have to admit that he's a pathological liar, because it's not true. There's no truth to it. Ted Kaczynski never ever went to MIT, never, and he said his uncle taught him at MIT, and his uncle John Trump died 11 years before Ted Kaczynski was identified as the Unabomber. So there's no possible way that they could have had those conversations. Is that a problem? You think that's a problem? That story I just told you, what do you think about that? I know. Believe it or not, MAGA is even more dumb than Trump. Oh, yeah, he knows. I mean, as dumb as he is, he's smarter than them, which is fucking, you wouldn't think it'd be possible. I can't get over how obsessed you are with Trump. You must read books about his life. You should seek help for your TDS. Well, Robin, I don't know if you guys remember that last 4 years before 2025 when you guys spoke relentlessly, nonstop about Joe Biden, and you wore shirts that said FJB, and you fucking did chants like "Let's go, Brandon." You were hyper obsessed with him. It's so funny. You guys are the biggest hypocrites, because Obama, oh my God, your entire lives were about trashing Obama. Same thing with Biden. But then you're like, why are you thinking about Trump so much? Which, by the way, Robin, let me explain to you how this works. This is YouTube, right? So I have a channel on YouTube where I've chosen certain things to talk about. Part of this channel, I talk about stuff you wouldn't even understand, stuff from a different topic altogether. The other part, the majority of it, I talk about Donald Trump. That's the plan for the channel. So if I did anything but talk about Donald Trump, Robin, then you should be concerned. That means I forgot the purpose of the channel. And in case you didn't know also, Robin, while you guys are still running around with your hair on fire about Obama and his 8 years and Joe Biden and how, demented he was or this or that, how he's responsible for all of the problems we're having today and Trump takes no responsibility, while you're still hyper obsessed with him, insisting that he stole an election he didn't steal. Trump is right now, currently the leader of the free world, the president of the United States. So you guys talking about Biden is much more absurd than me talking about Trump, especially since my channel is about Trump. Like, let's just say the rest of my channel is about the mafia, mob history. If you saw me talking mob history, would you say, oh my God, I can't get over how obsessed you are with the mob. You must read books about the mob. You should seek help for your mob obsession. Now, of course you wouldn't, because this is how it works, You pick a topic, and that's what you talk about, you dope. I know. They can't. They're past the point of no return. I know it, And it's not going to affect us. Well, it will for the next 3 years, but it's going to affect them even more, and they're too dumb to see it. All right, guys, I got to get going because I have a life. I want to go watch a movie with my wonderful wife and eat some good food, and I'll see you next time. Have a good Saturday night. Peace.